Canto 5, Chapter 14, Text 19. Kochi Kochicha Dusahena Kaya Abyantra Vahina Grihita Saraha Swakudambaya Rudyati Kochicha Dushahena Kayabhyantara Vanina Grihita Saraha Swakutumbaya Rudyanti Kochicha, and sometimes Dusahena, unbearable, Kaya Abhyantara Vanina, because of the fire of hunger and thirst within the body. Grihita Saraha, whose patience is exhausted. Swakudumbaya, onto his own family members. Krutyati, he becomes angry. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Translation: sometimes due to bodily hunger and thirst, the conditioned soul becomes so disturbed that he loses his patience and becomes angry with his own beloved sons and daughters and wife. Thus, being unkind to them, he suffers all the more. Please repeat. Sometimes, due to bodily hunger and thirst, the conditioned soul becomes so disturbed that he loses his patience and becomes angry with his own beloved sons, daughters, and wife. Thus, being unkind to them, he suffers all the more. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Vidyapati Thakur sang Patale Saikati Vari Bhindu Sama Sutta Mita Ramani Samaje. The happiness of family life is compared to a drop of water in the desert. No one can be happy in family life. According to Vedic civilization, one cannot give up the responsibilities of family life. But today, everyone is giving up family life by divorce. This is due to the miserable condition experienced in family. Sometimes, due to misery, one becomes very hardened towards his affection, sons, daughters, and wife. This is but a part of the blazing fire of the forest of material life. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Shapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadandikam Vandeham Sri Guru Shri Yuta Parakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatanvitam Samsadevam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Shaitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Sri Vishadhanitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Shute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Mancha Kalpatribhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Patitanam Bhavinebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Desa Tarini Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhare Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So again, we are in the chapter 14 of the 5th canto, Instructions of Jara Bharat. Of course, this is spoken by Sukadev Goswami. he is giving the explanation to all the difficulties. I mean, Jada Bharat in the previous chapter was explaining how the merchant is suffering in the forest of material existence. And that merchant is us. We are going through distress after distress. And this is the explanation to the various distresses we are facing. So now we come to the part where we are talking about how the living entity, sometimes due to bodily hunger and thirst, the conditioned soul becomes disturbed that he loses his patience and become angry with his own beloved sons and daughters and wife. So of course, family life in this verse, we can see the father is becoming, in the verse it said, Krutyati means cruel. He becomes angry. Also, Krutyati means he becomes angry, and also it means cruel. So you see, Akrura. Akrura means one who has no cruelty. But in Krishna's, when Akrura came to Vrindavan to take away Krishna Balaram to Mathura, right? So all the gopis, Vrajavasis, everyone were shedding so much of tears because they cannot bear separation from Krishna. And they said, I don't know if it's in Bhagavatam, but in Hari Vamsha, they said that if Jai Shri Shri Radha. So they said, your name is Akrura, but actually you are Krura. You are extremely cruel upon us that you are separating our most beloved Krishna from our lives. So that is how the Vrajavasis, they perceive cruelty. Cruelty comes when you are separated from Krishna. Whereas in the material world, we feel cruelty because, you see, it says here that sometimes due to bodily hunger and thirst, he becomes so disturbed that he loses his patience. Because we are all here suffering from these threefold miseries. And is it this verse? 3:9? No, not this verse. You know that verse Brahma is saying, the Shut, Trit. Yeah, this one. Shut, Trit. Tridhatu Bhir. So these three things you are suffering. We are having hunger and thirst, and then we are suffering from these three dhatus, always going, the air, the kapha, vata, pitta, always not aligned. And we get a lot of problems, disease. Ima muhur ardhyamanaha. Sitoshna vata. So you also again feeling heat and cold every time. Varshai itaritarcha Kamagninachuta Rushacha Sudurbharena Sampastyumana Urukrama Siddhate Me. So what are the suffering we are facing? Oh, great actor, this is spoken by Lord Brahma. All the poor creatures are constantly perplexed by hunger, thirst, severe cold, secretion and bile. This is the three dhatu bir. Attacked by coughing winter, blasting summers, rain, and many other disturbing elements, and overwhelmed by strong, indefectible sex urges and indomitable anger. So these are the same thing the householder is feeling. He's getting a lot of anger because firstly he has to deal with all this suffering. Also, you must understand anger comes from where? What generates anger? Kama, Esha, Krodha. So when lust is not satisfied in family life, one gets a lot of anger. And the first level of anger that Samarth, can you please pay attention? Listen to the class. The first level of anger that you show is to the near and dear ones, right? We have so much anger, but we do not go to the public road and show the anger to the person there. Let's say you are walking in the train, somebody accidentally hit you. You will be very polite, sorry. But if same thing happen in the home, you may become very blast, right? When you come to temple, you learn that super soul. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto mata smriti ghanam apohanam cha. The Lord is in the heart of everyone. You learn that, right? When you see the deity, do you disrespect the deity? Anybody takes the slipper to beat the deity? Anybody shows anger to the deity? Because deity is not different from Krishna. Similarly, when you learn the sloka that Lord is sitting in everyone's heart, that means the deity is also there, right? then why we are showing anger? Because we are not understanding who we are. We are not understanding we are part and parcel of Krishna. So that is why we are having this envy and hatred. And actually, there's one verse in the 11th canto: for one who meditates on my super soul form, the envy and hatred goes away. You can find for me that verse. Vishamru, you know that verse? 11th canto. So anyway, now we are suffering from all these various things. And of course, if one is a devotee, he's still, even though he may be facing all these different problems, he can still able to control his senses. He will still respect everyone. You know, Samaham Sarva Bhuteshu. Because he loves Krishna, then he loves everyone who are part and parcel of Krishna, right? So here Brahma is saying, I take pity on them and I'm very much aggrieved for them. So pure devotee's consciousness is like that. They are very compassionate. You know, he doesn't have anything, paradukka dukhi, no worries. But when he sees other people suffering in family life, like Prahlad Maharaj was saying, you know, this is andakupa, griha andakupa. So you should, Prahlad Maharaj telling Hiranyakashipu, you should give up this and come to the Vrindavan. You come to Krishna consciousness. So of course we cannot give up the family life. Majority of people are in family life. But you must make it in relationship with Krishna. Right? So family life is very difficult. If you can see another verse. 11? 15. For him who constantly meditates upon my presence within all persons, the bad tendency of rivalry, envy, and abusiveness, along with false ego, are very quickly destroyed. So one who is a devotee, he will not show that kind of anger and hate, anger against his wife or family or children. You see, it's not only the father is showing that anger. In many stories, we see the son is also showing the anger to the father. Example, like King Vena. You know, Anga was his son, and Anga was very cruel. And the king couldn't take it. And he just renounced the family life. And Anga became the king and he started to stop the Brahmanas. Sorry. Yeah, Anga and Vena. Vena is the son. So mixed up the father and son. So Vena became the king. Anga is the father. And Anga was very cruel against his father. Right? And of course, Vena was very cruel, sorry. So in the end, he was cursed by the Brahmanas to die. And from his body, Prithu Maharaj came. So if we see another verse. So if one is a devotee, if you constantly meditate upon Krishna, then all this bad tendency and rivalry, envy, all this goes away. You will not be abusive. In fact, if you see in the material world, our relationship is very exploitative. Right? There is no love in the material world. You see this shloka, Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada is writing, is it this one? Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, so one who is equal to friends and enemies, who is equipoised in honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and distress, fame and infamy, who is always free from contaminating association, always silent and satisfied with anything, who doesn't care for any residence, who is fixed in knowledge, and who is engaged in devotional service, such a person is very dear to me. So in this chapter, Krishna is saying who is very dear to him. You know, if I'm not wrong, is it 16? Not 16. Sorry, it's 12:9. Sorry, not 19. So in 12:9, Bhagavad Gita, he says, Atachittam samadhatum na shaknoshi maishtiram abhyasa yogena tato mam ichaptum dhananjaya. He says, my dear Arjuna, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me. So, as I was saying, there is no love in the material world. That's why we are so hatred towards each other. Similarly, we don't have love for Krishna also. So we saw that all this bad tendency come because of a lack of love of Krishna. If you have Krishna's love, you'll automatically be able to be not having this abusive tendency, exploitative tendency, right? So Krishna says here that, but how to develop the love? You think automatically we will say, I love Krishna? Actually, a lot of people say, I love you. I love chicken. I love chicken means what? I want to kill the chicken. I love sweet. I love this. When in material world, when we say love, it means I want to use it for myself. Exploit it. In spiritual world, love means selfless exchange. Like a mother, how she selflessly gives her love to the child without expecting anything in return. That is the highest love you can see in the material world. But even that is not complete because it's temporary. If something is truth, it has to be eternal. So that is not true love. True love means eternal love. So Krishna says, so if you want to develop those, if you want to meditate on me, if you want to always remember me, only with love is possible. Without love, not possible. He says, Yuvatinam yata yunim, right? Just like Krishna, Rupa Goswami is giving this example that that's like a boy and a girl. They may not be seeing each other. They may be separated, but they cannot stop thinking of each other. How are they connected? Because there's love. So how come when you're doing your work in the office or whatever work you're doing, you're still thinking of that girl, and the girl is doing, she's also thinking of you? Why? Because the love is there. If it can be happening between two ordinary human beings, how it should, what will happen if it happens with Krishna? You see, if you love your wife, then you will tolerate all her relatives and mother-in-law, or if you love your husband, you will tolerate his mother also, right? Because he's connected. Similarly, if you love Krishna, everybody, you don't exploit anyone. Everybody becomes your friend. Everybody becomes your relative. Right? So Krishna says in this verse, it's very difficult to develop that love. So Krishna says, then you should, he's the highest, he's going in short chapter. The highest is becoming fully surrendered unto me, developing love for me. But if you cannot, you do this. If you cannot do this, you fix your mind on Bhakti Yoga. This is sadhana bhakti. This is what we are trying to do here. Because we do not have love for Krishna, we do in a commitment way. Krishna says you commit to the process of Bhakti Yoga. Okay, you don't have love, but you commit to the process of chanting my name every day. You commit to the process of cooking and offering to me. Right? So in any relationship to flourish, there has to be commitment. Similarly, also in Krishna consciousness, the more we commit to Krishna consciousness, the more we are going to increase this is love for Krishna. So this is what we should do. Right? So Krishna says, you commit. If you can't do it, never mind. If you're feeling difficulty, you're struggling in your chanting, never mind. But you don't lose your commitment. Your 16 rounds you do. Your 1 hour, your at least half an hour, 1 hour reading you do. And always improve. Like Kartik months, whenever Kartik month comes, is like an alarm. What is Kartik month? Alarm is coming, telling now increase your commitment. Now you're comfortable, in your service. Go to the next step now. Understand? So we should never try to be comfortable in devotional service. Because if you're comfortable, then you see the ultimate point is love, right? So we are very, 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 very far from that place, including myself. So maybe you all will have attained, but it's very difficult to even chanting. When you're chanting our rounds, it's hard to even remember Krishna in that. So many thoughts are coming, right? But if you love, there will be no other thoughts. Okay. So anyway, I'm telling this point because we are talking about this family life. There is also not selfless love there. The father is angry to the son is angry to the father. The exchange is not selfless. It's an exchange of, like, I'm doing this for you, you better do for me. Sometimes the son will tell, you only give birth to me. Did I ask myself to be born? You produce me. So it's your responsibility, it's your karma to supply me. You just shut up. So when the father hears such thing, how they will feel? They went through so much hardship to bring up the child, and the child, Ravi Prabhu was telling how his boss, manager's daughter was very rude to her. So very hurtful, because you don't feel hurt by somebody scolding you on the street. Somebody may shout at you and you will just forget it. But it's more hurtful when a relative or friend, someone close, abuses you. And of course, in this context, you're talking about father. If you go to the story of the Avanti Brahmana, he did exactly the same thing. In the 11th canto, you see this verse. In this whole chapter is about the Avanti Brahmana. Avanti Brahmana was a very rich man, but he was very cruel. He had family and relatives, but he was always abusing them. Very stingy. He doesn't give any money. He just keeps the money. He doesn't use it for any purpose. And he treats everybody as a thief. He thinks they want to take his money. So you can see here in this sloka that in his home, devoid of religiosity. So he doesn't do anything for dharma. He has accumulated that wealth, the artha, but it doesn't go to dharma. So there is no dharma in his house, and lawful sense gratification. So there is no lawful sense gratification. The family members and guests were never properly respected. He never respects his family members. Actually, if you can go to the YouTube, there is actually a ISKCON channel called RG Media. They made a drama on this Avanti Brahmana. Very nicely acted. How they, not like a stage drama, like a produced film. So you can see how the Avanti Brahmana, how he treated his friends and relatives, how everything was lost. Finally, he became sannyasi and he became a liberated person. But Krishna took everything away from him. So anyway, we will see how he was behaving. See, so he never properly respected, even with words. He would not even allow sufficient gratification for his own body at suitable times. So this is called Kripana. Kripana means in your whole life, you maybe have accumulated 1 million or 2 million or even 100 million and you don't use it. You understand? What's the point you die seeing your bank balance? Are you happy? You should use that money for the highest purpose, which is Krishna consciousness, which is dharma. Money should be used for that purpose. And let's say even if you don't use for Krishna consciousness, if you don't use for your own sense gratification, then how much you are a Kripana, right? So he was like that. Then what he did, since he was so hard-hearted and miserly, his son-in-laws, wife, daughters, and servants began to feel inimical towards him. Because if you keep cruelly abusing someone, people will just avoid you. You see, in Mahabharata they said that a king, he should not be too cruel and he should not be too friendly also. If you're too friendly, people will step on your head. If you're too cruel, people will not even come near you. In fact, he said if somebody is too cruel, they will have no support around them. They will be very poor. Because to achieve something, you need cooperation, right? And if you see, contrastingly, if you see Prabhupada, how he was hard like a thunder, but soft like a rose. The way he dealt with his disciples, very, very lovingly. But same time, to get anything done, he will go like thunder. And he said, no, you must, to satisfy my Guru Maharaj, you must do it. But the people understood the love he had. If you push someone hardly, but then if you don't have love, they will just leave you eventually, right? So this is what happened to him. All his son-in-law, his sons, daughters, they began to feel very angry towards him and becoming disgusted. They would never treat him with affection. So he doesn't have affection. You see, so you may have all the money in the world, but if you don't have love, then what is the use? You're working so hard to take care of the family, right? But then if you don't feel any love from them, then how? But of course, this is his fault. In this way, the presiding deities of the 5 families sacrifice became angry at the Brahmana. So when you behave like that, the Devatas also agree with you. Okay? And who being goodly guarded his wealth like a yaksha, who had no good destination either in this world or next, and who totally deprived of religiosity and sense enjoyment. So the Devatas were not happy with him. Then eventually, when he lost the blessings of the demigods. So, O magnanimous Uddhava, by his neglect of these demigods, he depleted his stock of piety and all his wealth. So, all his piety was destroyed. The accumulation of his repeated exhaustive endeavors were lost. So, everything was lost. Once everything was lost, all his family members left him. And like that, but of course, in his story, there's a big turn. Most people, after going through all this, they still don't realize. Then he connected to the Supreme Lord. And after that, he became a sannyasi. And even when he was abused, somebody used to urine on him, or all these kind of things. He could tolerate it. He said, "It's my karma." He said the greatest enemy is not these people. Is my mind. Following in the next many verses. Can you know what was it that he speaks about the mind? 11:23. He says the mind is the greatest enemy in the end. So that is the story of the Avanti Brahmana, how he was trapped in this family life. So this family life is like that. गृहेषु कूतधर्मेषु पुत्रधारा धनार्थधी नापरं विद्यते मूढो ब्राह्म्यन् संसारवर्त्मसु. Those who are interested only in the so-called beautiful life, namely remaining as a householder, entangled by sons and wife, searching after wealth. So this is what everyone doing. Think that such things are the life ultimate goal. So we think that this is the goal of life. Such people simply wander in different types of bodies throughout this material existence without finding out the ultimate goal of life. So when you are in this kind of situation, even though you may have all the money, family, wealth, everything, you will still feel depressed, because now you have achieved everything just to find out that is not success. You come to the highest pinnacle of success, like Arjuna. He came to the highest point of success, and then he says, even if you give me the heavenly kingdom, I'm not happy. Right? Arjuna said that, no? What was that? Is it 2:8 or 1 what? 140 something, is it? I think this one. No. Oh, sorry, I mean Adi. It's not there. Anyway, so Arjuna says that even if I attain the highest position in the heavenly kingdoms and everything, I'm still not happy. Because whatever success you attain, if it's not understanding who I am and who is Krishna and how I can connect with him, unless you have bhakti for Krishna, everything else seems, because that's how our default nature is. If you see this sloka, very important sloka, spoken by the Devatas. He says, "Oh, original person, we are therefore but yours only. Although we are your creatures, we are born one after another under the influence of three modes of nature. And for this reason, we are separated in action." So Devatas is saying that we actually belong to you. Jivere Swarupaha Nityare Krishna Das. We are always servant of Krishna. But now because we are born in the influence of mode of nature. Now, material nature is giving birth to us. So our body is made up of these three modes. It's infused in our blood. That's why we are behaving so difficult to come back to Krishna, because we are born in this nature. How do you understand the deeper nature? Right? Very difficult, right? So for this reason, we are separated in action. Therefore, after creation, we could not act concertedly for your transcendental pleasure. Why we cannot act for the pleasure of the Lord? Because we are born in material nature. So we are all Madrik Prapanna Pasupasa Vimokshanaya. Gajendra is saying, Madrik Prapanna Pasupasa Vimokshanaya. I mean, we are binded by this modes of nature. Pasupasa Vimokshanaya. We are, how Mother Yashoda is tying Krishna, like that we are tied by the three modes of the ropes. The rope has three. So we are all tied. So Gajendra is saying, Pasu Pasa Vimokshanaya. I'm an animal who's tied by the modes of nature. But actually, it also means us. Because not only an animal is tied by nature, material nature, but we are also tied. So Gajendra is saying we are all tied by the modes of nature. And then he says, Muktaya, Bhuri Karunaya Namolalaya. You see the sloka. Madrik Prapanna Pasupasa Vimokshanaya Muktaya Bhuri Karunaya Namolalaya Swamsena sarvatan vrin manasi pratita pratyagdrishe bhagavate brihate namaste. So he says, my Lord, I am bounded by this material nature, but you can unbind me. Why you can unbind me? Because you are mukta. I am bounded. If I am bounded, how can a prisoner unbind himself? Someone who is not bounded can unbind him, right? So he says, you are unbound. You are mukta. So you can release me from, you can give me liberation, right? So, and then bhuri karunaya, not only you can liberate me, you are also full of compassion. You are so much having compassion for us. That is your position. See, somebody may be able to liberate you, but if they have no compassion, then what is the use? Right? So that means, number one, Muktaya means he is all powerful. God is all powerful. But power is not enough if there is no compassion. Bhuri Karunaya. So you may have the ability to do something, but if you don't have the compassion to do it, you won't do it. Example, Bajendra was trapped now by the crocodile. He's calling out for help. So his wife and children and family, they wanted to help him, right? They had the compassion to help him, right? But they had no ability to help him. Sometimes you're in trouble, so much of debt, something, you need help, but then somebody can just give you $50. Then what do you do? Right? And somebody can give you maybe $100,000, but they don't want to give you. So the Devatas, so when Gajendra, so same thing happened to Gajendra. He was trapped by the crocodile. He was not being helped he could not be helped by his wives and children and family. Neither he could be helped by the demigods, because demigods don't want to help him. They said, you are calling these prayers, because he was chanting all these prayers, telling about the Supreme Lord. He doesn't know who is the Supreme Lord. He's just saying, Nama Atma Pradipaye Sakshi Paramatmane, Namo Giram Viduraya Manasacheta Samvidi. So he says that, oh Lord, you are everywhere. You are the heart, you are Sakshi, you are seeing everything. So demigods understand they are not this. So even though they had the ability to kill the crocodile, very easily they can kill the crocodile, right? They don't want to kill. Say, you're not calling me, why should I come and help you? So no compassion. So demigods are not, they're very cruel actually. And also they were thinking to themselves, now Vishnu, you think he will come and Vishnu will save you. You call me, I will save you. No. They were offensive towards the Lord. So demigods, even though they are great devotees, you can see their position. They were offending, they were doubting. So they were doubting that Muktaya, Bhuri, Karunaya, Namo Lalaya. Gajendra didn't doubt, the Lord will come and save me. Demigods were doubting the Lord's power. Actually, they were doubting his compassion. They know he's powerful, but they think he won't come. No, why he will come? That's why when Lord came, they were surprised. They said, oh my God, my Lord is here. Then they understood, they quickly gathered in front of him and they started to pray, offer prayers. So while the Lord appeared, so natasya urubhalena grihita artho drisvat garubhakti upatta chakram. His chakra came and cut the crocodile. Utsipya sambhujakaram gira mahakrishna narayana akila guru bhagavan namaste. When he was saving Gajendra, all demigods are around the Lord praying also, offering prayers. So it says that when the king appears, he appears with his army. So this time the Lord never say, you appear with me. They themselves came, because they had to say sorry for their offense. So now, so we can see Muktaya means he is all powerful. Bhuri Karunaya means he is all compassionate. Namo Lalaya means he is all awareness. He is in everyone's heart. So God is all powerful, all cognizance, all compassionate. Gajendra understood this point. The demigods also didn't understand this point. You understand the position of Gajendra, great devotee he was. So that's why the Lord, so he's saying, now I am caught in this material nature. Only you can save me, my Lord, because you have all the ability to save me. You have all the compassion to save me. You also know what is my problem. You are very aware of my problem. You understand? So whenever we doubt whether Krishna will save me or not, it means we doubt his power, we doubt his compassion, we doubt his awareness. Even before we can approach him, he is aware what is the problem. He knows what we are going through. He also has compassion how he is going to help you. We just have to surrender to that plan. Don't worry. He'll take care of it. So how does he know? Namo Lalaya. How does he know that he's aware of everything? Because Swamsena sarvatanu vrin manasi pratita. He's in the heart of everyone. Pratyak dishe bhagavate brihate namaste. I offer my obeisances unto you. So you see the translation. He says, since an animal such as me surrendered unto you, who are supremely liberated, certainly you will release me from this dangerous position. Now we are trapped in the dangerous position of life. We are now talking about the words of family life, how dangerous position it is. Right? So only Krishna can liberate us from that platform. Indeed, being extremely merciful, Bhuri Karanaya, you incessantly try to deliver me. Right? So Krishna always coming to try to deliver you. By your partial features, Paramatma, Swamsena, Sarvatanubrin, you are situated in the hearts of embodied being. Manasi Pratita, you are celebrated as the direct transcendental knowledge and you are unlimited. I offer my respectful obeisance unto you. This is how we should surrender. And if we surrender this way, then we will come out of this situation, this difficult situation of family life. You see here, Kamasyantam hi shutribhyam, Krodhasyaite pralo paholodhayat jano yati na lobasya jitva bhuktva disho bhuvaha. It says that the strong bodily desires and needs of a person disturbed by hunger and thirst are certainly satisfied when he eats. So we are talking about hunger today. Hunger and thirst, heat and cold. The family man is affected. So how you satisfy that? By eating, right? Similarly, if one becomes very angry, their anger becomes satisfied by chastisement and its reaction. So when you're very angry, if you scold someone, you feel happy. But after that, if you're a devotee, you'll regret why I did that. If you're not devotee, you'll feel happy. But for greed, even if a greedy person has conquered all direction of the world or has enjoyed everything in the world, still he will not be satisfied. So this is lobha, matsarya, lobha, kama, krodha, lobha, mada, matsarya. So this greed cannot be satisfied. So what happens in the family life situation? The greed always is there. It never extinguishes. You want more and more and more. Just like how Dhritarashtra, he wanted much. Duryodhana, they are not happy. Even though Pandavas were in the jungle for 13 years, they are not happy. They still had to come to the jungle to show, see how happy I am, how nice my wealth is. So greed will destroy. So we have to pray like Gajendra, Muktaya, Bhuri Karunaya, Madrik Prapanna Pasupasa Vimush. We have to pray that way, then we'll come out of this. We have to surrender to the spiritual master to come out of this. So now we'll go back to the verse and let's conclude with a final example. So it says here again. So we already talked about this point that he becomes disturbed, he loses his patience, become angry, all we saw, and then he becomes unkind and suffers all the more. So actually, if you see in Vedic scriptures, the son is actually non-different to the father. It says that what is that? That's Vishnu Sahasranam. That one verse is there. Parasharadmadam Mande Sukatatam Taponidim. So there's one verse glorifying Vyasadev. So he says that Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave Namo Ve Brahmanide Vashishtaya Namo Namaha. Then no, that's actually one verse before. Parasharam Atmajam Mande Sukatatam Taponidim Shakte Pautram Akalmasham. So if you look at the lineage of Vyasam Vashishta Naptara. So the lineage of Vyasa is coming from Vashishta Rishi. Shakti Pautram Akalmasham. The son of Vyasa is Shakti. Parashara Atmajam Mande. And the son of Shakti is Parashara. And the son of Parashara is Vyasa. And the son of Vyasa is Sukadev. Shukatatam Taponidim. So he says that Parashara Atmajam. So actually in Vedic scriptures, it says that the son is actually not different from father. If you see the Ramayana, when Vishwamitra wanted to take away Ram, he said, no, you can't take me. It's like taking away my own body. So the relationship of father and son is very close. And even if you see in the Leela of Krishna Leela, Damodar, what happened? Atmaja. Okay. So we'll see another verse from the first canto. See, when Krishna came back to Dwaraka, all his wives wanted to hug him actually, but they were very shy. So what they did was, the insuperable ecstasy was so strong that the queens who are shy first embrace the Lord within in the innermost recesses of their hearts. Then they embrace him visually. So how they embrace him? First you Jai Shri Shri Radha Madan. So please see this verse. The queens first they embrace the Lord within the hearts because Krishna was was very long away from home. He was going to Kurukshetra war, Finally, he came to Dwaraka. Then, after embracing him in the heart, they embrace him visually, and then they send their son to embrace him, which is equal to personal embracing. See this? So they did not directly embrace the Lord; they used the son to embrace. So the son, of course, they after it embrace the son. But oh, chiefly amongst the Brigus, though they were tried to restrain their feelings, they inevitably shed tears. So actually, the relationship of father and son is supposed to be very close. And even if you see in the Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Charitamrita, he refused to meet Prataparudra, right? King Prataparudra was refused meeting. So I think Nityananda Prabhu, or I think Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he suggested to them that, okay, he cannot meet me, but at least let his son come and meet me. And his son got the opportunity to embrace the Lord. So he said that, you see the sloka, Atmavai Jayate Putra, E Shastravani Putreram Milaneyena Milibhe Apani. It is indicated in Revelation scriptures that the son represents the father. Therefore, the son's meeting with him would be just as good as the king's meeting with me. So this is how the relationship of father and son. But what is happening in Kali Yuga is opposite. And of course, in today's verse, we see the father is again against the son. Of course, other verses also the son is against the father. Yeah. So this is the situation in Kali Yuga. So this is how close, and why the son is named Putra, because he's meant to save the father from going to the Put, from the hell. And how he can save? Only by becoming devotee. So even if you see another verse, 9:20, if I'm not wrong, 9. Sorry, let me search this verse. So actually, yeah, sorry, I can't find it. So another example was Romaharshana. You know who's Romaharshana? Romaharshana, father of who's the Sutta Goswami. Sutta Goswami is reciting Bhagavatam to Saunaka Rishi. So Romaharshana was sitting in the Vyasasan giving class, giving katha. Then Balaram came and he did not stand up. So Balaram got very angry. Said, "How come you're not respecting? Even though you're sitting in Vyasasan, you're not respecting me." Balaram is Supreme Lord, no? So he took a grass and he just killed him. Of course, he got liberation after getting killed. Of course, there's another way saying that how Romaharshana was just like a parrot repeating Bhagavatam. So Balaram was not happy that this person is sitting and repeating Bhagavatam, but he doesn't have realization, just like an actor reading his lines. So the sages got very distressed now. Said, "No, you have killed the father." Okay. Then we have blessed him with long life to recite Bhagavatam. What to do? But then Balaram said, "Okay, I will bring him alive, no problem." He said, "No, but your will also we cannot override because this is the Lord, Supreme Lord's will. How we can override your will?" So it should be arranged in a way that your will is also there, our blessing is also there. So Lord says, "Okay, put his son there, because son is non-different from the father." So this is the relationship of the father and son actually, and I'm just trying to find the verse actually. It's in the chapter of Dushmanta and Bharat. I don't know where I saved it. So yeah, 9:20:21 actually. So if you see this verse, you know who's Dushmanta? You know who's Maharaj Bharat? Of course, not the Bharat of the fifth canto. There's another Bharat who is coming in the line of the the Pururava. Pururava, yeah, Shakuntala. So Pururava's dynasty is where our Yadus are born. Yadus and the Yayati and all this, and also the Yadavas, the Chandra Vamsha. So in that line, there is a king called Dushmanta. He had a relationship with a very beautiful girl called Shakuntala. Shakuntala is the daughter of Menaka and Vishwamitra. You know, so Vishwamitra, he fell down to Menaka, right? And then they had a child called Shakuntala. And Shakuntala was abandoned by both of them. So he was raised in the forest by Kanva Maharishi. So in that forest, one day Dushmanta was coming, this king in the line of the Puru dynasty, and then he was very attracted to a very beautiful girl. They got married, but not like a official marriage, like a, what do you call it, Gandharva Vihaha, by words. When you marry just by agreement, that is called Gandharva Vihaha. There's 8 kinds of marriage. And then they had a child, and the child name is Bharat. Very powerful. He's so powerful that he's helping the demigods fight the demons also. And he was control of the entire universe after that. Such a powerful son was born called Bharat. That's why India was also known as Bharat. Because not only of Bharat Maharaj, the son of Rishabdev, also this Bharat. And also the Bharat of Ramayana. Bharats are there. So then, eventually he goes back to the kingdom. And somehow he forgets that this is his wife. This is his son. So after the son grows up, the wife comes to the kingdom to submit to the father. This is your son, please take him. And then he says, no, I can't remember that this is, I can't remember that this is my son. And suddenly in the Akashvani, the sound came and said, no, this is your son. You see, Bharashva Putram Dushmanta. He says that the voice said, Akashvani said, oh Maharaj Dushmanta, the son actually belongs to his father. So actually the Akashvani says, no, this woman is chaste, she is your wife, this is your son. You cannot reject them. After that, Bharat becomes the king. So you see, this was very interesting. The son actually belongs to his father, whereas the mother is only the container, like a skin of a willow. According to Vedic injunctions, the father is born as a son. Therefore, maintain your own son and do not insult Sakuntala. This is what Akashvani says. So you can see the position, see the Vedic injunction. Atmavai putra namasi. The father becomes the son. Mother is simply storekeeper because the seed of the child is placed in the womb of the father. So why am I showing all these verses? Because now in Kali Yuga, these things all are forgotten. Even in Treta Yuga, it was forgotten. That's why Rama came to establish that relationship between the son and the father. You see? So, but of course, as a woman, then you may be wondering, so I'm just a container. Only father is important, right? You think like that, right? Actually, that's not so true, because in Mahabharata, there's one story. In fact, if you do the Shraddha Puja, you do the Tarpana, right? The rituals. I think there are 16 mantras. Out of 16, at least 12 mantras is for mother only. 4 is maybe for father. I don't know the exact amount, but many of the mantras are towards the mother, because the mother did so much bearing the child and taking care of the child. And in fact, in the Mahabharata, there's one king called King, I think Bhagaswa or something, I forgot his name, starting with B. Okay. This king, he was desirous of a son. He wanted children, he could not have children. So he was doing a yagya to satisfy Agnidev, because Agnidev will provide the progeny. And then successfully the yagya was performed and 100 children were born from him. Very powerful princess. But you know what happened in the background? Indra was not happy. Because Indra was thinking, how come you're worshipping Agni but not me? So you understand, you cannot satisfy the demigod at all unless you satisfy Krishna. Sarvaharam achyuteja, unless you water the root, the plant cannot be satisfied. If you satisfy Krishna, no demigods will be against you. But if you, let's say, I only will worship such and such demigod, I only worship Durga, I only worship Ganesh, I only worship Shiva, then other demigods will become envious of you. This is a proof. Okay. So, but if you worship Krishna, no problem. Devarashi Bhutapta, Pritri Nirnam, all your debts are finished. Pitri Nam Nirnam, all. So now Indra gets very angry. How come this guy is worshipping Agni but not worshipping me? So in a way, he's also against Agni, you see. They are also having a lot of rivalry among each other, who worshipping each other. I think they have like a followers. You know, I have 20 million followers. You have 30 million followers. They have a data also in the heavenly planets. They are comparing their status like that. That's why Indra got so angry with Indra Puja not being performed to him. He came to kill the Vrajavasis. Even all the demons didn't do that. Demons only came to attack Krishna. No? Somehow cowherd boys are there, they are getting harmed. Only Indra did that. Indra did even worse than Agasura. Because among all the demons, Agasura, yes, he tried. Or kill all the cowherd boys. Other demons, they just see, Krishna is there, let's fight him. So you see, envious of Indra. No, what Indra did, say, I will teach this king a lesson. So the king one day went to the forest for hunting. Somehow Indra created an illusion. He was lost in the forest. He cannot find the way out. He was going out here, go there, go there. And he was feeling very thirsty. He was feeling hungry. You see, this is the nature of the material world. Heat, cold, thirst, hunger. We are all experiencing this, right? And then Indra created a big pond, a river, like a big pond, very beautiful pond. Then the king immediately went and drank water. He was thirsty and he went to bathe inside the pond. Actually, I was thinking, whenever I read these stories, why these sages, whenever they see a beautiful river, they just want to bathe. They put everything down and go and bathe. So what's so great about it? Huh? But when I went to Rishikesh, I saw the river. I was like, wow, amazing. You know, you saw the river, you want to bathe actually, because you can see how pure it is. Of course, we are thinking in the consciousness, I want to bathe and get clean, but they know how pure the rivers are, the holy rivers. That's why whenever, like, you know, even you see the story, the king, what is that, Vibhishan, he was carrying Ranganath on his to Sri Lanka. And then he saw Kaveri river, immediately he put down and he went to bathe. Then after Ranganath said, I'm not moving, Kaveri is here, my home, now this is my home. Because there was another pure devotee waiting for Ranganath to come. Kaveri Virajaseyam Vaikunta Rangamandiram. Just like the Viraja river is surrounding Vaikunta, the Kaveri river is garlanding Sri Rangam. So Sri Rangam is Vaikunta on earth. Okay. So anyway, coming back to the story, he went and bathed in the river. He bathed in the pond. You know what happened? After he came out of the pond, he was a woman. Body transformed into a woman. And he was shocked. How come now I'm a woman? What to do now? How will I convince people now? I have 100 sons at home. Somehow his horse was there and he was even struggling to get up the horse. So difficult to ride horse, you know. Because as a king he could do it, as a woman it was very difficult. Somehow he struggled, he went back to the kingdom. Then everybody saw who this woman. And he said, actually I'm your father. Everybody got shocked. Say, what do you mean you're our father? He said, this happened. I went to forest, I got this problem now. He said, so then my father said, okay, I tell you what to do. You rule the kingdom. You rule the kingdom. I will go back to forest and see any solution is there. So 100 sons were ruling the kingdom. So while in the forest, somehow he got attached to a rishi and she got married. Now it's a she. She got married to a rishi. And with the rishi, 100 sons were born now. Another 100 sons. So then she immediately brought back all the 100 sons to the kingdom. Now there are 200 sons. And then she told everyone, you are both my sons, all of y'all, work together and rule the kingdom nicely. And the brothers were very happy. They were nicely supporting each other. Very good family relationship was there, even though they were from different, father and mother like that. So nicely going on. And Indra was thinking, I wanted to ruin this guy's life. How come he's enjoying now? Whatever my plan, it became, he's happy now. He's having 200 children somehow. And he's happy to be a woman also. What nonsense. Indra came and then started, he transformed. I think he became like a sannyasi or brahmana, I don't know. He came and he started talking to all these brothers. These boys all are born in the forest. How you can give them to rule your kingdom? This is your place, How you allow this nonsense? Then he started to make fight between both parties. And 100 of them fight each other. 100 and 100 fight, 200 fight, all died. And the mother was crying like anything. She's saying, "Oh, what is my karma? What I did wrong to deserve such a punishment? First, I became woman. Now I lost all my child." So much crying. And then Indra was very pitiful, thinking, "Oh, maybe I did too much. I punished this person too much. Let me come and talk to them." Then she said that, I'm so sad. Then she was revealing her heart, everything. Indra said, actually, I'm the one who did all these things. I'm Indra, because I was not happy you didn't worship me. Then she said, okay, I'm very sorry. I shouldn't have done that. I also will worship you. No, please forgive me. Very repentful she was. Then Indra said, okay, fine. Since you're very repentful, I'll give you two benediction. First benediction, you can bring back 100 children. So you bring back. You tell me which batch. When you are a man or a woman. And then he said, when I want those sons when I was a mother. Then he was surprised. Why you chose that? He said, because my attachment to the son as a mother is more than when I was a man, when I was a father. So Indra said, oh, is it okay? So maybe that is why you get more sales during Mother's Day than Father's Day. So after that, he said, one more benediction I'll give you. You can become a man again. Okay? She said, I don't want. And then he said, why you don't want? He said, because sex life is more nicer as a woman. You understand? So of course, there's nothing to learn from here in a spiritual way. Materialistic point of view. So she said, I'd rather remain a woman. And like that, she revived and she continued her life with the 100 sons. So now the point is, this is how the material world is. Sometimes we are male, sometimes female, always changing body. So when we become that body, we forget our previous body. He was a king, completely forgot he was a king, and the enjoyment he was getting as a king, he rather remain as a mother, housewife. So our consciousness always change when we change bodies, and we become so attached to that change of body, and we become so attached to the enmity and friendship we are facing in that body. In fact, now we have 7 billion people in the world, but I tell you, when you take birth again and again, the same 30-40 people only you take birth around. You understand? The same 30-40 people. This life, this guy's my enemy. Now next life, he's again my enemy. I'm going to fight continuously. So that's why once and for all, we should uproot this. We should burn from the root itself. This papa. We have to become a devotee of Krishna. We should chant Hare Krishna mantra. Come out of this consciousness once and for all. Because we will continue. Now, let's say I am angry with someone. Next life again, I'll born and I have to fight them. Suddenly, the fight will happen. So the Vaishnava's way is, okay, I'll accept, like how Avanti Brahmana, he transformed. I don't care. You insult me, Naman, I'm not going to create any more reaction. I just offer my obeisance unto you. Takte nukampa asu samiksha mana. I'm suffering my karma, but Krishna, I offer my obeisance unto you. This is how we should be. Then only we can come out of this cycle of entanglement. Because entanglement always goes on. Just like how Kamsa was not killing the children of Devaki at first, When Narada Muni came and said, who is this Devatas, who is this Yadus around you? They are all demigods. You do not know. Last life, they all conspired with Vishnu and they killed your father, Hiranyakashipu, because Kamsa in his previous life was Kalanemi. So he believed Narada immediately because Narada saw his past life, And Narada reminded him of the past life enmity. He said, oh, he's my enemy. I need to. So it's actually good not to remember the past. Sometimes why I cannot remember my last life? You know how stressful it will be. Now this life you got 5 enemies. Suddenly you remember your last life. Then you suddenly seeing 30 different enemies now. How you will live your life? So like that, Narada Muni put the seed in Kamsa's mind. Then he was like, now Vishnu is my enemy. I need to do something. Then he started to harass all the Yadus and Yadus all run away. Right? So we need to come out of this consciousness of this entanglement, of this very difficult entanglement of these family attachments. Then only we can go back to Godhead and come out, completely annihilate. So that is the process. So anyway, I think that's all I can say for today's. Was any points more you want to add? Yeah. Uh-huh. Was it? Hmm. Yeah, but he was not. He was in a very high position, no, and he was still doing parallel chanting. We are giving class also not because of we are self-realized. We are actually, I'm sitting here telling the class for my own purification only. But Roma Harshana's consciousness was not like that. He was giving a class, he was giving big class, and he was having a lot of, you know, the pride. In fact, that verse is there, that exact verse is there. If I can find, let me take it out. Yeah, I can find it. Hold on. Yeah, you see the sloka. This is the exact one. 1078, 25. It's a very nice verse actually. Although he is the disciple of the divine sage Vyasa and has thoroughly learned many scriptures from him, including the law books of religious duties and epic histories and Puranas, all this study has not produced good qualities in him. So he did not have the good qualities despite knowing everything, just repeating. And he is direct disciple of Vyasa actually. You know, rather his study of the scriptures is like an actor studying his part, for he is not self-controlled or humble, and vainly presumes himself a scholarly authority, though he has failed to conquer his mind, because he has not conquered his mind. We are reading in Nectar of Devotion, right? Yeah, but we are not taking that position of like guru, no? Are you becoming guru? No, right? You are not going saying I'm guru. Like that's what the problem happening in ISKCON. ISKCON, the gurus are doing that, so that's why they will fall down. So this is the thing. And also, if you see his son, the qualities of his son, is it 1.6.6? Huh? Sorry, 116. Sorry, the qualities of Sutta Goswami. You can see here. Rishi Ruvacha. See this verse. So the sages are giving respects to his son, Sutta Goswami now. Is it? Oh, respected Sutta Goswami, you're completely free from all vice. Number one, he's not having any bad habits. Of course, his father also had no bad habits. You're very well versed in all scriptures. His father also was very well versed in religious life and the Puranas and histories. For you have gone through all of them under proper guidance and also explained them. So, same qualities father had, right? What is the difference? Difference is the next verse. यानि वेद विदं श्रेष्ठो भगवन् बाधरायण अन्ये च मुनया श्रुत pravara vido viduhu. Being the eldest learned Vedantis, O Sutta Goswami, you have acquainted knowledge of Vyasa, who is incarnation of Godhead. You also know other sages who are fully versed in all kinds of physical and metaphysical knowledge. So he surrendered completely to his guru. Over there it says that he learned from his guru, but he didn't surrender. If he had surrendered, he will be able to control his mind. He will not repeat like an actor. But here there was not only expertise, but full humility is there. See, so expertise is not so important as much as humility towards the spiritual master. Which is why Dronacharya refused to teach Ekalavya. Because he was very skilled and talented, but he did not have the qualities of a disciple. So this is what we have to have. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so humble, even God himself, so humble. He's telling that my Guru Maharaj told me, I'm a fool, number one. Better don't waste time in Vedanta, just chant Hare Krishna, So that humility has to be there with the Guru. Then only whatever knowledge that you are receiving, you have to be transparent via medium. When the sunlight is going through, if there's something transparent, it will go through completely. But if you're not transparent, if you're opaque, you will reflect back the light. If you're 50% also not, let's say you're 50% only transparent, then 50% light goes away. So if you want to represent the Guru Parampara, then you should have that qualities of humility, surrender. Then only you can. Okay, so I think I'll end here then. Any other questions?
and offense to emotionally did not recognize the 59 of
Yeah. He didn't recognize Balaram when he appeared.
but we did not recognize.
Hmm. Brahmaharshana. So that is actually, you see, it doesn't immediately, you don't recognize. It's so many prior steps before that. There was a lack of mind control. There was a lack of humility. There was a lack of, so all this leads to the offense in the end. That's why when you see an offense manifesting, you should trace back what is the root of that offense, how it started. So that's why in the root itself we should cut out. Whenever something ill tendencies are coming, we should immediately cut it off. And it's not easy to cut it off. Sometimes you can't see it also. So devotees might give feedback. We should be able to take it and improve. If not, it will grow and grow and grow, and it will become a tree of mad elephant's offense will come in the end. Yeah. Yes. So Balaram is Adi Guru, If you don't represent Adi Guru properly, then you are like a fake Guru. Obviously, he will cut you, right? So everybody who's fake Guru, they should be careful of the grass of Balaram, actually. Okay. So then we'll stop here then. Jai Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki. Jai Shri Prabhupada.